Hi, it's Stevie again from Swan Songs Animal Communication, and today I'm going to give you some ideas on how to become or how to be the emotional leader for your animals, your pets, no matter what species they are. Now, I've come to one of my favourite locations. I don't know if you can hear, but we're by the river. I have Blitzen and Rana with me, so excuse me if you hear me shouting every now and again, Blitzen, Rana. They're really good, so they'll probably just play in the background, but just to let you know in case I do have to call the names. So, let's go back to what I started talking about. So, how to become the emotional leader for your animals. So, we know that our animals feel our emotions, and most of the time they will synchronize themselves with our emotions. So if we feel really scared or nervous or anxious, our animals will start feeling really scared and nervous or anxious. If we feel really confident and secure, our animals usually feel confident and secure. So that all sounds really good, and it sounds really, really simple, which it is, kind of. No, it is, I'm going to explain. But what do you do if you... This is what I'm talking about, but it's fine. Rana! Oh, thank you for letting me know there's somebody there, Rana. Good girl. Okay, Rana, come back now, good girl. That's also what to do if your dog barks. Dogs bark because they are, they guard. That's what all dogs do. They guard, they watch out, they survey everywhere. So if they bark, they're usually doing it to tell you that something's up, whether there's somebody there, whether there's an unusual smell, whether there's a door open that's not normally open. So to stop our dogs from barking, because it is quite annoying really, what we can do is thank them for letting us know, and then if we know why they're barking, we can say, oh, thank you, I can see that there's somebody there, thank you for making me aware. If we don't know what they're barking at, then we can say, oh, thank you for letting me know that something's the matter, show me what it is. And often they can show us, and if they carry on barking, then we can say to them, okay, stop, quiet, and we'll imagine them with their mouths closed, rather than saying stop barking, because obviously the word is barking and we're imagining them keeping on barking, so that's what they'll do. So once again, to recap, if your dog's barking, you say thank you for letting me know X, Y and Z, and then you can tell them to be quiet and picture them with their mouths closed and quiet. So back to what we're saying. So what do you do if you're being the emotional leader for your animal, but you don't feel calm, you feel anxious, or you feel angry, or you feel something that you don't want to feel, and your animals are marrying up with that feeling? You're feeling anxious about a situation and they're being anxious too. Now obviously we can contact an emotional freedom technique. I had this word and now I forgot it. Emotional freedom technique practitioner, that's the one. Obviously you can contact an emotional freedom technique practitioner and move through those through the feelings that you have that you would like to feel better. That really didn't make much sense. I'm not going to start recording again. So obviously if you have a high anxiety, or you feel quite angry, or you feel unmotivated about a situation, you can contact an emotional freedom practitioner and they can help you work through your emotions so that you can be a better emotional leader for your animal. But what if you don't have access to emotional freedom technique practitioner and you only have yourself, and you cannot stop feeling scared about a situation, or anxious, or unsure about something? So what you need to do is tackle the emotion. Now, where do emotions come from? Emotions are driven by our thoughts. We think a thought which creates an emotional response. And then you might say, well, I can't stop thinking my thoughts think me. They don't. You think your thoughts. You think your thoughts. Every thought you think creates an emotional response within you. So how to change your emotion? You change the thoughts that you're thinking. Here's another thing. Every 17 seconds, you think a thought that creates the same or a similar emotional response as the thought before. So if I'm thinking about, let's say, a situation, maybe I'm thinking back to when I was a kid, and there might have been a girl who was being really, really mean to me, and it made me really upset, and it made me feel really unworthy, and like no one liked me. And then from that, just in 17 seconds, you're going to get a thought that marries up to that. So it may be a previous relationship, an ex-boyfriend who was maybe a bit mean to you and made you feel all those things. So that's why it's really important to be aware of the thoughts that you're thinking and the emotional response that you get. Now, this is the thing. Every 17 seconds, you get a similar thought. If you're not being aware of what you're thinking and how you're feeling, an hour down the line, you've got that much momentum and that much power and that many thoughts, like a train. You know, you've got one carriage and another 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 carriage. Before you know it, it's that much momentum. It's going to be really, really hard to think different thoughts to change out this emotional response that you're getting. That's why sometimes people think that anxiety just comes out of nowhere, and sometimes it does. But more than not, you think, oh my God, I feel really anxious and I don't know why. Quite often if you start to check in with your thoughts, what am I thinking about, what have I been thinking about, you've usually been thinking about thoughts that have created in the past some kind of fear response, because anxiety is fear, and then you're carrying on thinking about thoughts that still create a fear response. However, sometimes the fear response, or the thought that we're thinking, we don't really see it as creating a fear response, but it still does. I'm going to explain a little bit more about that. So suppose, let's do you're walking your dog, and you're walking your dog in a place where there's other people, and you know that your dog lunges and barks at people when they're coming. So you're thinking, right, so I can't be fearful because my dog's going to feel that, and it's probably going to link up with that emotion too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be really confident, but inside you're feeling fearful. So you're acting like you're confident, but inside you're feeling like you're fearful. Now sometimes when we switch our body language, our emotions or our thoughts will link onto that, but more often than not, you switch your body language and you're still feeling fearful inside, you're just pretending that you're confident. Now we can trick most humans. I will admit that you can trick most humans, but most animals, because they feel from their hearts, they will feel that fear response. So they're still going to be fearful even though you're acting confident. So the way to get out ahead of this is by thinking thoughts that create the response that you want way before you take your dog for a walk, way before you ride your horse, or way before you try to move your parrot from one cage to another while you clean it out. So here's a little trick. A little tip and a trick and a hint. Every morning when you wake up, because you haven't been thinking, you've been dreaming, and that's something different. When you wake up, you're like a blank canvas. You don't feel anything. You just neutral, which is really nice. You just feel absolutely neutral. Until you start thinking about the things that you was worried about yesterday or the things that you are anxious about today. And then it starts to build a feeling of anxiety, and again the thoughts go clunk, 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 clunk. These carriages start adding on that are all producing a fear response, and by the time you come to ride your horse or take your dog for a walk, blitzen, move, goodbye, as I spoke about before, you've got all this going on, your animal's gonna pick up on that. So every morning when you wake up, make it your duty to lie in bed, think of something that you are grateful for, that you're happy for, or that makes your life easier. It could be something as big as, oh, you know, the offer's been accepted on my new house, that's great, and you know, it's what I've always dreamed of, and my dreams can come true, and I feel really powerful, and like I can achieve anything because I've achieved this. Then before you know it, you'll think of something else. Oh my gosh, and I remember that time when I was in high school, and I got that award because I just knew that I could achieve it, and God, I'm the most amazing person in the world. That thought is going to create this emotional response, and more thoughts are going to join it. Now you want to think that way for a good few hours in the morning. Don't let anything else come in. Keep thinking those thoughts. Now what sometimes happens is we think about the thoughts, as I said, of the things that worry us, and then that creates that. Now that's something really big. Not everybody might have just bought the dream home, but you could think, sometimes what I do is I might wake up and I might think, oh God, I love my job, by the way, but I might think, oh, I really don't want to go to work today. I just want to stay in this bed. I really don't want to go to work today. But I know that I've got 17 seconds to think of something different before that thought starts creating momentum. And sometimes I just have to go general because I want to stay in bed. I'm tired. I don't want to get up. So I need to go general. So what I will do is I'll think, and I'll lie in bed and think, right, what have I got to be grateful for? I have my animals. I have their food in. In fact, I actually filled up their food bowl the night before because I'm smart like that. So it's going to be an easy morning. I've got a sink that has water, which is the perfect temperature. I have a car that I can drive to work. It's almost like sitting in a little perfect capsule with my own little nightclub going on because I can choose whatever music I want. I can make it the perfect temperature. That is so cool that I have that. You know, I'm going to a job that I love. If you're in a job that you don't love, you could think, I'm going to a job and I get to work with one of my really good friends. There might be one person at work that you really like. Carry on like that for a few hours, and then before you know it, you're more or less going to keep moving throughout the day like that. That's why you get phrases like, oh, did you wake up on the wrong side of the bed? That phrase means you woke up, thought about something that made you feel a bit grumpy, it got more momentum, you're going to have a grumpy day. You know, so this is the way you need to be thinking if you want to be a better emotional leader for your pet. If you can think that way for a while, get that much momentum, you're going to have a really good day, you're going to come home from work, you're going to get your dog and you're going to be like, come on, let's go for a walk, because you're going to be feeling it. You're not pretending it, you're feeling it. You're excited to go for a walk because your day's been that good. You know your day's going to carry on being that good. It's going to be a good day. It's already been a good day. You're going to have a good walk. That's what I'm talking about. Now, the thing is, you're going to do this for your pets and for your animals, but more than that, you need to do it for you, because you matter. Your life matters, your emotions matters, your thoughts and your feelings matter. Move, Blitzen. And you control your thoughts. You think your thoughts, they do not think you. You'll think your thoughts that generate your emotions. You get to choose. You get to choose. Do it for you. Do it for your pets. Do it to be your own emotional leader, not just your pet's emotional leader. Everybody deserves to live their best life. And furthermore, if you've thought thoughts that make you feel a little bit grumpy, like, oh my God, this house is a tip, it's a pigsty, I don't have enough time to clean it, and then you're going to get another thought, another thought, another thought, another thought. How do you think your day's going to be? How do you think people are going to respond to you? How do you think you're going to respond to other people in different situations? If you're already feeling grumpy and hard done to, a situation such as a little bit of traffic is going to make you feel even worse. You're going to be like, oh, for goodness sakes, this traffic is so bad. Oh, it's just one thing after another after another. Somebody says something to you that you don't like. It might even be that bad, but it just gets you back up. It makes you think, oh God, nobody appreciates me. Nobody's got any respect for me. That's the way you keep on going. If you wake up and you take the time, you're aware of the thoughts that you're thinking, the emotional responses that they're creating, you're going to get stuck in traffic in your mind and think, oh, well, do you know what? While I'm sat here, I'm just going to have a look for that favourite lipstick that I dropped on the side of the seat. Get it out. If you come into contact with somebody who's maybe been a little bit grumpy with you, or maybe not speaking to you the way you kind of want, you're going to be thinking things like, well, do you know what? I feel really good. I don't really appreciate the way they spoke to me, but they must be having a bad day. Sometimes, if you've got that much good feeling energy moving forward, you might even think, I'm going to cheer that person up. I'm going to go make them a brew. You know? So this is the thing. Be your own. Create your own reality. Create your own world. And start that with what you're creating up here in your heart, and then it will move out to your outside world. I've been doing this quite rigidly for about 2 years now, and I would say I've achieved in a small amount of time, in the time scale that I've been doing it, more than I've ever achieved in such a small time scale. Because when you're feeling a certain type of way, the rest of the world reflects that. You deal with things differently. You notice things that you haven't noticed before. You know, if you're thinking that your house is a tip, you're gonna notice things that look messy. If you're thinking, oh my God, I'm so blessed to have this gorgeous house and this and that and the other, you're gonna notice and look for more beautiful things. So, on that note, I'm gonna go. Let me know if this video was useful. If you want to know a little bit more, I do have more information that I can share with you, that I'd love to share with you. So yeah, let me know what you think. Try this, do it for a week, don't just do it for a day. Well, yeah, do it for a day, but you know, do it for a week. Give yourself the chance that you should have, you know, give yourself the happiness that you deserve. Try it out, give it a go, let me know how you feel. Mwah, much love, bye.